Try to copy that. First trail, first day, first trail, first obstacle, blew both shafts out. I mean, that requires some talent. Let me show you guys this carnage. Here you can see this guy completely shot, completely broken. And the other side is just the U-joint in there is busted. You can't really tell too much the way it's sitting right now. Well, you can. It's also completely busted. Nonetheless, right now we're here at the BFG pit, and Mr. Cole, who you might remember from some of our videos at Windrock Park. What's up, Cole?
What's going on?
He is helping me to get this thing, to figure out what's going on, if anything else is broken, and to rebuild the RCVs. What do you say about the situation of the RCVs? Rebuildable?
Yeah, we're gonna do a rebuild kit, and the joint, obviously the joint's got a little wear on it, but one of the stub shafts is about rounded.
Yeah.
Do have a yielded inner shaft, but without one available right now, we're just gonna put a stub in it and replace the balls in there and keep going.
All right, cool, cool, cool.
If you look in here, you got a little bit of damage on the bottom of the kingpin right there. You can see where the cap spit out, came around. So probably go back and inspect that at some point.
Yeah.
We'll get a grinder and cut this one ear off.
So that's the first from me. I broke both U-joints and both inners, both sides at the same time. That's crazy. All right, so now that we found out that the inners are both busted as well, we got to pull the diff cover just to see, A, to get the pieces out, and B, to see if maybe something else, maybe the locker has, got some damage on it, we don't know. But so we got to pull the diff cover and go look at it.
So you needed what?
We got to take the diff out now because the rest of the axle shaft that broke off is behind the seal, and so we have to take the diff out and then take the pieces out that broke off in it, and hope it didn't do any more damage. There you go.
But since we did it this way, it won't tear up your axle seals. So
Yeah.
if you look in here, there's where the seal rides. And where it broke is actually this side of the seal. So when you try to pull it out with a magnet, you risk tearing that up. Then we either got to put seals in it, or you run it super leaky all week. So this will get you by.
That's awesome. At least it's on both sides a very, very clean cut. So would have been worse if it would have shattered in some way, or broken in the worst place, or shattered. Then we would have had to fish out every individual piece, and it would have most likely done some severe damage to the ring and pinion.
So since we're this far, we're waiting on parts tomorrow anyways. Almost any locker, once it gets shock loaded, especially breaking both sides at the same time, it's normally a good idea to go ahead and pull the locker apart and just make sure it didn't get shock loaded and destroy something in the locker. You can prevent, by doing this, making sure you don't have something else wrong, and then if it tears up, it can shock load a shaft and tear something up again.
Right.
So a little bit of preventative maintenance while we're here.
Yeah, tomorrow, so since we got RCV parts overnighted to Palm Springs anyways, we just called in O'Reilly's and ordered another set of bearings. So we're going to take it apart now, and then should be good to go again tomorrow.
got a little wear on it, but it's not bad. That piece right there is actually jammed in there. It's supposed to float because that's what moves. See how it's jammed into the one side? Yeah. So I need to try it. I just barely should move and see if it'll.
Oh yeah, I see.
See how it's dug into the side there?
Oh yeah.
So there's a chance this may have not even locked or unlocked for us after this. So it's a good thing we're checking it.
So the internally lock-in part of the diff, those are basically guidance pins. Those are the pins that guide this thing to come in and out whenever it gets engaged. One of them broke off, completely sheared off, and the other ones were just pressed in. So instead of us, first we were debating of TIG welding the broken piece back on, but you couldn't. I don't think with what we have out here we could have welded it in a way where it's perfectly straight. So it could have essentially caused more damage if we would have welded it on crookedly. So we decided to take these things out entirely and space it out and basically put it back together where it's constantly locked. Since we're in the desert and all we do is off-road out here, not drive blacktop, we're just gonna have the front end completely locked the entire time and put it back together. And this part came out of what? Where did we use it from?
So these are actually out of some old hubs. So this holds your lock and hub assembly in. So this is the measurement that we need to space up what would normally slide up and down. So we're adding 60 thousandths in the locking side of that, so it's gonna basically keep it locked in all the time, and it'll be basically like a spool.
Yeah.
So getting ready to put it all back together, and
so then,
should be good to go.
So then at least the locker is going to be working all the time. Better. It's definitely the better option than taking the gamble of having a locker that's going to fail on us. So.
So one of the other things we didn't talk about when we tore this down, this outer carrier bearing actually just slid off. It's supposed to be a press fit, so just wear and tear over time is spun on the carrier. So at the end of the day, it needs a case half. We're out here, no parts available for it right now. So what I'm actually doing is taking this punch and punching the surface, which raises up the edge around where you punched it. So it's kind of like a knurl effect. So we're gonna do that. That way it'll keep the bearing from spinning and tearing up the shims, and then that way hopefully the preload and backlash can all stay where it needs to be.
Alright, that's it for tonight. We're kind of at a standstill at this point, waiting for parts tomorrow. I have to drive into Palm Springs to pick up some rebuild kits for the RCVs, and yeah, now we're chasing down some new bearings and some shims for the locker to realign it, because it's just not, like, it's kind of binding at a certain point. So gotta run around Hammertown tomorrow, try to find some parts for it, and then continue on tomorrow. Hope to get it fixed up, ready to go rock and roll on Monday. So see you guys tomorrow. Alright guys, it's Saturday now, one day later. We're on our way to Powder Springs to pick up the RCV rebuild kit that RCV overnighted to Palm Springs. That was the closest place that would do Saturday delivery. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. All right, RCV saving the week. Alright guys, lifesaver. Ricky B with RCV made it happen. Met me here in Palm Springs on his way to KOH. We were here anyways to pick up the rebuild kit from FedEx. So, and he was on his way in and just now crossed Palm Springs, so that worked out great. He met me in the Walmart parking lot. to deliver my stub shaft, so they're now going shopping and then eat and whatnot. They won't roll into Hammertown until late tonight, so this was the perfect opportunity for me to grab this. Now we're headed back to Hammertown and hopefully put this whole deal back together before, well, it's probably going to be dark by the time we get there, because the line to get into Hammertown is all the way down Boone Road, all the way to the main road, so it's going to take us a hot minute to get all the way back in, but once we're there, it shouldn't be too much work to get it all back together, and then yeah, we're back on the trails from tomorrow on, I hope. So huge shout out to RCV Performance. You can't beat that. I mean, what the hell, like Saturday, like overnighted something, Saturday delivered it to some Renaissance hotel in Palm Springs. Like, they did their own research, tried to find a place where they could deliver it to, and yeah, made it all happen, and it was as smooth as it gets. So RCV Performance, guys. Strongest axles on the planet.
Do the rebuild kit, replace all the little balls inside of this cup, also with a few more internals in it, and replace the C-clips. So this is just normal service on RCVs over time.
Yeah, good deal. So it lasted 5 long years of torture, so it's about time to rebuild. That's a lot better.
Yep. So once we get this thing in there, I don't know if you have a grease gun with you or not, but
I don't have a grease gun.
It
broke. I don't like, it's completely trash.
Yeah, but yeah, grease it up some more later.
Yeah.
So this guy right here is supposed to move around inside this other piece, and then you've got the little balls that move inside the cup. So I'll show you here in a second what the other one looks like and how it's supposed to move. See how that doesn't move? You can hit it with a hammer and it doesn't move inside of itself. Here's that piece, brand new. See how it just very smoothly moves around in itself. So that's part of the rebuild kit from RCV. Freshly rebuilt, ready to go.
All right, so last piece of the puzzle. We're about to, we just took the diff cover off. Now we're going to take the whole locker and everything back out and then realign it. We got some chims today. Just got some new bearings, so got to tear it all apart, shim it, get the alignment right, put it back together, pop the axle shafts in, and we're good to go again. So last step, boys. Long day, long 2 days. Mr. Cole over here, they're all freaking killed it.
Trying to make it happen.
Oh yeah. That's it. We put a zip tie in between the CV and the boot just to prevent the vacuum just to get rid of the vacuum that happens, because the boot fits so snug over that bell. If you put a zip tie in, it releases air and the boot goes in quicker. Otherwise, it's yeah, quite the challenge. Alright, finally! So, the BFG pits and the BFG garage got me all fixed up. RCV saved the entire week by overnighting me that stub shaft and meeting me at the Walmart parking lot in Palm Springs on their way up to give me the last few parts that I needed. Huge shout out to our awesome community out there. We made a post on Facebook and Instagram that we were looking for some shims because we had to realign the front diff after like welding the lockers, and like, yeah, big story, you'll see it in the video. Long story short, we got here, I had like 5 different packs of shims sitting on my counter in my RV. The shims were dropped off at the garage, shims were dropped off over at the race pit, so huge shout out, our community is awesome. Thank you guys for stepping up and bringing us the parts that we need, way more than we need actually, but yeah, super appreciated. Saved my week, Jeepster's all back together, now we can go wheeling, let's go.